Welcome to Jays and Grays, your favorite podcast. I am Dave Hellum. That's my co-host Eli Hamilton in the building. What up, Eli?
What's going on, Mr. Hellum?
Oh, you know,
we got to give a shout out to our engineer, Mr. James Webb. Hey, James, how you doing, man?
Good, buddy. How are you?
Oh man, just blessed to be alive.
That's
in this blizzard, this tundra.
What you sipping on today, Eli?
Same thing I'm always sipping on. I stopped at the store and got me this half a pint. Oh, that's not a half a pint.
Jesus Christ.
Hey, we got a toast, Dave. Come on, toast. Tito's forever.
You like what that duo, the comic, and they had the rings, and they were
Captain Planet,
Wonder Twins.
No, not Captain Planet. It was like the Wonder Twins, but we just have we like the Wonder Twins. We got Tito on our rings. We be like, Tito niggas.
With our alcohol combined, we are two drunk ass.
I think that'd be a good comic book, the Tito niggas. Like I think that Tito niggas to the
Tito's, Sprite, tonic water.
Oh my God.
As our powers to combine, our liver dies.
Oh my goodness. Let me share this on my page. We laugh.
That was my favorite song. We're the Planeteers. You could be one too. Saving our planet is the thing to do.
Fire
is not
Earth.
the way. Here's what
Water
has to say.
And they was always getting their ass beat every episode by some fucking pollution monster or some shit. Like, and to some fucking baby blue colored dude with green hair and some draws and a globe on his chest came in and blew down some forest fires and then disappeared again. Oh man, those are the 90s, the best cartoons ever. It was so creative in those times. What happened, man?
I don't know. I mean, personally, I don't think it was all that creative. Like, you can go back to YouTube and watch all that shit that we loved, and it is terrible. All the stuff that we thought was so dope. Like, I watched Voltron. The theme song was still cold than a motherfucker. Like, the theme song to Voltron is a raw ass song. Outside of that shit is trash.
Sing it.
What?
Voltron. Sing the song.
It's no words. It's like dun 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 dun. Like I sound like a virgin.
I don't feel the passion. I don't feel it.
What was your favorite theme song ever?
My favorite theme song ever. You know, I'm terrible with words, but I know harmony. I think that show, Family Matters, they had a dope theme song.
I meant cartoon, but that's cool. That's cool.
Oh, cartoons?
No, Family Matters is fine if that's what you want to go into.
I don't know. I mean, I like Chippendales. I like the Darkwing Duck.
Get your ass out of here, Rescue Rangers. Face ass. But you know what? I can start that off somewhere. I mean, I don't know the words to it, but you know, I think the best theme song of all time from a children's TV show had to be Ninja Turtles.
Oh yeah.
It's nothing better than that. Like,
yeah.
Teenage Mutant, like that. I wanted to be a turtle. I wanted to like go into the sewers and have somebody pour ooze on pause. I wanted to go in the sewers and have somebody pour grease.
Nah, who didn't want to be a Ninja Turtle though back in the day? That's what my parents asked me what did I want to be when I grow up, and I think they was talking about a profession. They thought I was gonna say like a doctor or whatever. And I told him I wanted to be Raphael.
Man,
because I like to eat pizza and I liked karate.
Like, yeah. You saw the movie, right? And everybody else is like super nice and like, hey dude, hey guys. And then Raphael was like, I lost my motherfucking side. God damn, I hate these niggas. I was like, God
hey, Raphael was about it. I like Leonardo too, though. But I mean, as I got older and I was scared of mice, I'm like, I couldn't do that because not only am I scared of mice, I'm scared of rats. And Splinter not only was a big ass rat, and he was a ninja. That was fucking terrifying. So after that, I'm like, you know what? I'm cool on that Ninja Turtle shit. You know, I want to be a chipmunk because I like to live in the trees with them.
With them big ass nuts in your mouth.
Okay.
You walked right into that one, like, oh, alley-oop.
I wasn't expecting that one. You was hoping. How long you been sitting on that joke, Dave? About 2 years. If somebody ever say they want to be a chipmunk, I'm gonna say you just want big nuts in your mouth.
Okay,
You finally got to use it today, Dave. Congratulations.
Hey, thank y'all for tuning in on the Jays and Grays page for y'all who are watching this show right now.
We are in episode 11. Ho-ho.
Oh, what's it called, Eli?
This is Where Did the Love Go? Where did the love go? We got some things to talk about. We want to know, where did the love go in the Black community? But before we get to that, of course, we got to go through some news that's happened. I mean, it's been a lot. And we also want to go through a couple of movie reviews too. So Dave and I watched a couple of movies. You know, we actually had a time to sit down and check out some flicks, you know what I'm saying, over the past week. Two popular ones that you guys may have seen already or at least heard of. If you haven't seen it yet, just letting you know this will be a spoiler alert. We'll touch on it briefly. The first one, let's talk about Malcolm and Marie.
Please do it. Like, I'm gonna kick this off and say, like, Malcolm and Marie follows a trend of movies that have Black leads that are shot very well. They look very beautifully, like cinematography wise. But like the same thing with like Queen and Slim, where like it looked great.
I still didn't see Queen and Slim.
It wasn't my favorite, but it looked great. You know what I'm saying? But and I know we shouldn't like really speak out against like art that people do because people put a lot of work into it. It's nothing that's going to come good for me saying that it wasn't the best movie. But with Malcolm and Marie, it wasn't that the movie was bad. It was just like a conversation that I kept watching the movie and I was like, how in the fuck are y'all memorizing all these lines? Like it ain't nobody else in the movie but two people.
I'm sure, you know, they memorized all the way through. They shot it, stopped it, started at a different place, you know, synced it together. But I will say this though, basically it was a play that they just put on the movie. Kind of like that movie Fences. Remember Fences with Denzel
I never
Washington?
saw it.
Yeah, but Fences was actually a play. But essentially Malcolm and Marie was a play because it only took place in one scene, the crib, and maybe outside. But I thought it was pretty dope. I thought that first off, the soundtrack was pretty fucking dope, first and foremost.
You mean the music that was being played within the movie, right?
Yeah, the soundtrack. Yeah,
I definitely pulled out my Shazam app. And,
yeah, for sure. But I just downloaded it. They got the soundtrack on
okay, well,
on streaming.
That would have been a smart thing.
The soundtrack was good, but it was cool, like the shifting of the arguments. Actually, I got to a point where like, man, is y'all gonna fuck and end this movie or what? Because every time it looked like they was about to just make up, somebody else brought some bullshit up. And I'm like, this is why I'm apprehensive to get into a relationship. This right here. And I think God wanted me to see that movie to like, take your time, son. Take your time. Because I'm like, God damn. And at the end of the day, it could have just simply been made with the conversation and it went all the way. But it was for a reason. She wanted to be in his movie and he was too selfish to say, basically, to actually put her in the movie. He was wrong and she was wrong for dragging that shit out for fucking 2 hours.
That's gonna be your issue soon.
No, it's not.
Dating these young ass chicks like Zendaya, and then you're gonna be a big ass like producer in Hollywood. And they're gonna be like,
Thank
I
you.
love you. And then they're gonna tell you, put you in the movie, you're not gonna do it, and then they're gonna.
No, I'll put it in the movie. I'm saying whoever, like, yo, but I mean, he got his creative inspiration. I just think that, you know, it's interesting, and I don't want to go too much on the movie. It's almost as like, I'm sorry if y'all hear like something like a 4-wheeler outside, doing rough riding. See somebody stuck in a parking space again.
Okay, so I didn't hear nothing. I just saw you look like you about to get like murdered.
No, it's been happening 2 weeks. Actually, I got stuck today too. We can talk about that later. But it's really like, man, it's just trying to keep your professional life and your personal life separate, and this is why you don't intertwine the two. Watch Malcolm and Marie, and you'll see what I'm talking about.
That's a really big thing you just said. Do not mix and mingle with your business and your personal stuff. Like if you're dating somebody, date them.
Yep.
And like I'm looking at Michael B. Jordan and what's her name, Lori Harvey right now.
Yeah. I don't know. It's the celebrity gossip thing I'm not really into, but I've heard that people been like poking at their relationship.
So you will watch a whole Kevin Samuels podcast and tell me about how great this shit is and get mad at me because I don't watch it, but you're not relevant in current events and know that Michael B. Jordan is dating Lori Harvey.
I'm relevant in current events, just not celebrity gossip like that. I mean, I know some of it. I don't really get involved in it though. Celebrity gossip, it ain't my business.
It's not even gossip. It's just like they're an item, right? And they both have huge fan bases. They are both deemed as like super attractive people, and it's like, all right, this will work as long as y'all stay in your potential lanes, right? But then when you start meshing this stuff together and trying to be in each other's career and do like crossover things and projects, that's when shit go bad.
Well, let me ask this. First of all, we know Michael B. Jordan is an actor. What does Lori Harvey do other than Steve Harvey's daughter? And if she does something that's...
I think she modeled. I think it's mostly just being like a social media influencer, but that goes a long way in 2021. She got a shitload of followers, and it's just different than what it used to be. Like you might not...
Does she have a talent?
Huh?
Does she have a talent?
It's not even about a talent no more, dog. Like it's so many TikToks.
There you go. Oh, let me back away from this one. You know how David, you don't have to have a talent. She's a person.
Do you watch TikTok at all?
I don't have TikTok. No, I'm 39 years old. I ain't got no fucking TikTok.
I don't have TikTok either, but I was just talking to one of my friends out here who's a director in LA, and he was like, he gets paid money to direct these TikTok stars and like acting stuff, and it's terrible. You know what I'm saying? But guess what? They still get paid. Their followers don't care. Their followers are still like, this shit is amazing.
I don't have TikTok, but somehow I still know about the Busted Challenge, the Silhouette Challenge, and the Junebug Challenge.
Well, I think
those are TikToks. Huh?
You did the Silhouette Challenge on your page. That take a look over my shoulder. And you like naked.
Nope. Sorry. Wrong guy. Wasn't me.
I like the Junebug Challenge though.
Man, Malcolm and Marie. All right, that's the wrap up. Basically, if you want to see Malcolm and Marie, it's an argument about two people who are trying to figure out something. One is a hype, a reformed hype, and one is
a hype. Because she had addiction issues. Are you a hype? Are you a Tito's hype?
No, she was a hype. She cheated on him. She was a hype. He a sucker. And he's a selfish asshole for not putting in his movie. Check it out. Great movie. Take from what you will. Malcolm and Marie, people. The next movie, this is, shout out to Black History Month. That's something, too, I noticed that we have not even made one mention of Black History Month as two Black historians who went to historically Black colleges. We never said nothing about HBCUs. That has nothing to do with Black History Month, Dave. But I'm glad that you're about to eat this edible. The next movie was Judas and the Messiah. If you don't know what the symbolism is, Judas is the one who backstabbed and killed Jesus or had him killed.
Why are you talking like that?
I got to make the movie sound interesting.
You're making it sound scary right now.
I should have been that movie person on the previews. Coming out February 2nd.
Give me your best voiceover.
I'm doing it right now. Shut up. Whatever. Coming in coming to HBO near you. It's you put me on the spot. All right, give me one more shit. Black History Month. HBO presents a tale about a revolutionary and a hoe ass nigga. I can say that because it's Black History Month. We call him Judas. His real name was, it don't even matter. We call him Snitch. Betrayer. But with Fred Hampton. It's a story about one man and the revolution in Chicago, Illinois. Chi-Town. Watch Judas in the Messiah.
Did you put an S at the end of Illinois? Like I swear to God, you said Illinois.
No, I didn't.
Illinois
I said Chicago, Illinois. Maybe I did because I said Judas, like because the snake get it, Judas. Snake.
Illinois.
Yeah, just kind of went with it though. What y'all think? Yeah. Oh, Bill O'Neill. Whatever.
I mean, I will watch it based off that.
Thanks. I appreciate it. Send me my name for the preview guy.
I love that movie. Like from the beginning, the first scene, I was engaged, and shout out to the Lucas brothers who actually wrote that movie.
They wrote that?
Yeah, they wrote it.
That was amazing, man. The thing is, the movie was so informative. It'll piss you off, but it's a tearjerker at certain moments. Man, like his chick, Fred Hampton woman, she was down for him, man.
Right. If you don't know the backstory, it's about the story of Fred Hampton, who was a member of the Black Party Panther, who died December 4th, which is also Jay-Z's birthday, 1968. And if you know the story about Fred Hampton, he was gunned down while he was sleeping by, was it the CIA or the FBI? I don't know.
FBI.
But, okay. They came into his spot on the west side of Chicago and killed the man. They still have that mural up in Chicago.
Hey, real story. My mama was telling me that because this was when she was in high school. She said that they left school and marched to his house. So it was pretty, I'm not gonna say cool, but it was also kind of like fascinating, but at the same time like sad when they was outside like protesting and riding with those signs outside of his crib. My mama was one of them people. So that was like, damn, like she was there. You know what I'm saying? And they showed like the actual shot. I was trying to see if I could see my mama, you know what I'm saying? You know, I didn't. But nonetheless, like just, I'm like, Mama, I thought you was going to be on Judas and the Messiah on Netflix. But nonetheless, though, man, it was...
You said none of the less?
Nevertheless, none of the less.
None of the less. What?
What's the difference, Dave? Because none of the less is a word.
What a guy, bro.
Right. Trying to correct me. Can't even fucking pronounce. Can't even tell us what it means. But anyway, it just lets you know that whenever you get too powerful, like when that shit pissed me off because when they went in there and what they did to him, it like made me think of Black Wall Street and how they bombed in Tulsa, Oklahoma, and I wish somebody would do a movie about that.
I think it's coming
because they kind of touched on it in what was that show with
Watchmen?
Regina King?
Watchmen.
Yeah. But we want to know the whole story without all the weird shit. But
you didn't like the weird shit in Watchmen?
I'm like, man.
Did you watch Lovecraft Country?
Bro, when you think about it, it was okay. That shit it has some symbolism in there.
Beat your ass right now, boy.
Fuck you. Like, it was all right, shit. It got weirder and weirder. But the thing with Watchmen, how the hell is the first scene in Watchmen with this racist ass dude bumping Future in the first scene? Now, like, oh, that song, what's the song? Whatever. Anyway, it just didn't go together. But it has some symbolism.
That's the point, to give you that juxtaposition. Eli. All right. And I wanted to say that that Watchmen was one of the best shows and Lovecraft Country on HBO last season. And if you didn't like Lovecraft Country, I don't think we can really agree on much because Lovecraft Country got doper and doper as you watched it?
No, it was pretty cool because they had different like stories, kind of like the Twilight Zone. And
Exactly.
one of my favorite ones was the black girl who wanted to see what it was like to be white, and they had that potion. That shit was like, damn, that shit crazy because you didn't know what was going on until like maybe 30 minutes into it. Cause I'm like, damn, what's going on? And then like she was shedding, like that shit was crazy. The symbolism and like the meaning of it was pretty cool. Like I like how they made that though.
And I think we're going to come back full circle to this conversation in tonight's episode.
Yeah.
It's really kind of a good segue.
We're gonna get kind of deep. We're gonna get a little deep with this though, because where did the love go? Like,
Yeah, this is kind of a segue into our topic tonight for Where Did the Love Go, which is a conversation about the unity in the Black community that existed in things like Black Wall Street that you brought up, right?
mm-hmm.
And I feel like right now, so let me start off by saying this off the top. I feel like recently there has been a resurgence of Blackness. Like I never thought in my life that I would see Black Lives Matter trending ever, because I remember like 5-6 years ago when it was like a thing, you never saw people talking about it, and then it became popular, and it was like, all right, how did this happen? And I'm thinking about that transition now. It's cool to see that this renaissance of Blackness is kicking off, but it's been gone for a minute. And I want to go back on this episode and talk about where that Blackness was to how it got to like its lowest point to where I feel like where it's coming back up now.
It's it's kind of like unique because we are like the older millennials. So our parents are like baby boomers. You know what I'm saying? We 80s baby. So I think we got to see like the end of like the Black love. I think we was blessed enough to be able to experience that in the 80s.
I don't think we ever saw it, really. I mean,
my parents was like, 2-parent households was common. Like I had both of my parents up until I was 13. You know what I'm saying?
When do you think that era ended of Blackness in terms of that level of love? Because I have my own opinion, but I want to hear yours first.
Crack epidemic. The crack.
What?
The war on drugs.
Yep, there we go. We're on the same page. I feel like shit in the 70s was like so not like it, like everything. It was very militant, and Black folks was like, like say it loud, I'm Black and I'm proud.
Yeah, because like the 60s was about love and unity and LSD and hippies and rainbows and cults. And then the 70s was more like a movement, Black Power, Black Panthers, big afros, you know what I'm saying? And then the 80s is like when drugs got introduced into it. You know what I'm saying? It was like a political thing. And at that point, when the war on drugs, welfare started really separating the households, and it was like, in order to qualify for welfare, you can't have a man in the house, and then the separation, the nuclear family, and that's when it all started. You know what I'm saying?
I don't know if welfare was not before the 80s at all, so I can't comment on that statement, but I will say, like, the fact that there was a time when we had to be, like, before integration, when Black folks had to create their own because they were not allowed to integrate with white people. Like, and you had to have Black banks, you had to have Black doctors, Black schools, and all of that. Some folks will argue that those were some of our best times because we had to be just like reliant on us to do these things, and we supported those businesses and those type of like resources.
It always pisses you off too, man, because when you live in a segregated city like Chicago, and Chicago is structured like by neighborhoods, so you got the Hispanic neighborhoods that reside like in the Pilsen, back of the yards, Humboldt Park, Puerto Ricans. Then you have like the Irish neighborhoods like Bridgeport, Evergreen Park, Oakland, Beverly, and
Oh,
whatnot.
Evergreen Park is definitely super Irish.
You know what I'm saying? And then you got the predominantly black neighborhoods, pretty much South Side, West Side, and it's like even in those neighborhoods, they got their own business. You got Chinatown, obviously. You got Chinatown in a lot of major metropolitan cities, But then, when the black neighborhoods, we don't have our own shit, right?
We
And
did.
we did, but we don't. You know what I'm saying? So when we talk about like how did this, this whole thing started, and we right now this is a conversation. It's not necessarily speculation. It's more so just observation, right? And feel free if you watching, feel free to chime in. We're not forgetting about you guys in the that's watching the show. If you're watching, feel free to chime in and we can have a conversation. But uh, when you take out the head of the household, and it's like you left to kind of fend, for what you can get, the crumbs, and you putting the men in jail or whatnot, and it's like you forced to rely on other resources, and then what happens is that you got products, the reproduction, and then you come into the 90s, and then you got
But
gangster
you,
rap.
you said we got products,
You got
reproduction.
well, not products like objects, but what I'm saying, product of your environment. You know what I'm saying? Young children growing up in the house with no fathers, no guidance. And then you go into the 90s, gangster rap, gangs really started coming to like a height. Movies like Boys in the Hood, Menace Society, 1992, you know what I'm saying, highlighting all that. And and this is like a result of not having people in the household. Now you got gang culture is like at an all-time high because now it's being introduced in like music, which was a big part of our culture, which is music. You know what I'm
So
saying?
you feel like these people didn't have like uh, father figures or people to look up to, so they went outside and found that in
They found love.
games.
They found love, or what's fake love, but nevertheless, it was love.
None of the
You know what I'm
less.
saying?
It was love, right? Okay, I got you.
Right? Was love from the streets. You know what I'm saying? And they found that and gang culture. And from there, gang culture had a huge impact on rap music. And so we talk about from there, and then we talk about where did the love go. Let's say that can just say that's the foundation. That's where it started, and that's when it started to diminish, and then it kind of transitioned into something else,
Well,
which is we can call fake love. And then we talk about the music. We talk about the love songs to the freaky songs. You know what I'm saying? Where we went from love to lust. So that's two different things. Like that's we talk about the music.
Don't do the whole podcast in 30 seconds. I feel you. I feel like
We can catch up.
like we gotta stay in one area. Like I agree that all these things happened during that time, but I want to go back and kind of focus on what that looked like back in the day. In terms of like my grandparents came from my granddad on my mom's side came from Arkansas. My grandma came from like deep Georgia, and they were sharecroppers. My grandma said like she would pick cotton, and she was like, "You never want to see what I ever saw," because they came from like fucked up environments, right? So they left the area to come to Chicago, and I feel like with most immigrants, like whether you're from like Haiti, Jamaica, the West Indies, Nigeria, wherever you're from, when you leave from somewhere and you move somewhere else, you are more motivated to be great, right? So they came to Chicago and they started their own businesses because they had to. You know what I'm saying? Like they had no money. And I feel like that's something that is lacking, in terms of like people who are from here. And you look at like Chicago in the 40s and look at Sam Cooke. Like Sam Cooke was not only like a heartthrob back in the day, was a cold singer. Did you see One Night in Miami?
I didn't. I fell asleep on it.
Okay, I can see that. I mean, it was also a play. But did you see the two killings of Sam Cooke
No,
on
I didn't
Netflix?
see that part.
Okay, it was a documentary, and Sam Cooke had his own record label, and eventually they came for it. Like once they got to a certain level, and some people will even say that's why he ended up, being killed was because of his status at that time. But there was just a level of we got to do it because if we don't do it ourselves, it's not gonna get done. So as much as you're saying like, the government got and crack came in and took away the the father figures, I will argue and say that once we integrated with the rest of America, we kind of felt like we started to idolize what the white folks had as opposed to being like, no, we good on our own, creating our own products. But because we were denied for so long to be with the white folks, you kind of want to be what you're not allowed to do, if that makes sense.
Yeah, like Dr. Claude Anderson.
Who?
It's Dr. Claude Anderson, I believe.
I've never heard of Dr. Claude Anderson. Tell me about
it. Dr. Claude Anderson. He's on. He's actually he's been on Breakfast Clubs a couple times, but he says that he thinks integration was one of the worst things that happened to Black people. Because to your point, that if they'll force us to rely on the oppressor, and this ain't no offense, and none, this is just history.
That's right, James.
James over there getting comfortable in the hell, like, all right, guys, I'm gonna go take a bathroom break. Look. But anyway, and the thing is, I mean, it could be some truth to that. It could be some truth to that because like the thing, we are so like, it's such a wedge between Black people right now, that we don't, it's a trust factor. We don't trust each other. We don't trust each other in business. We don't trust each other in relationships. And when you think about it, in certain instances, you can't really argue, when you go into like certain Black businesses. And as an entrepreneur, it's taboo for me to even say this, but I mean, it's true. In some cases, when you go into like a Black business, sometimes the service is not the best.
You know that.
Yeah. And sometimes the attitudes are not the best. That's true. Right. We don't even really go into the relationships. I mean, right? But even and then we look at our neighborhoods, but then you also like, where is this stimulating from? Where does this come from? And it's everything is all stemmed from something. I cannot, and I will not ever say that it's just because that's just how we are. No, the fuck it's not. It's psychological. So this topic, where did the love go? This is not just something that we just talking about just on the surface level. We actually want to have a conversation about that, and it really just stimulates from all facets in all walks of life, from, like I said, the music to business, to friendships, how we view, what's impacting that today. And I think we are trying to get back to that. We are trying to get back to that, but it's almost like it's like a barrier. It's a challenge. That's like a certain obstacle that we just can't seem to figure out. It's like once we figure out, it's like, aha.
The word is there's a stigma associated with Black businesses in terms of certain ways. Like when I was in college, my senior year, I worked at a bank. It was called Citizens Trust Bank. It was a Black-owned bank in Atlanta, and the bank was fine to me. But they had the reputation of not being like on the level of like a Wachovia back in the day, or like like them big banks. It was like kind of like the minor leagues of banks, and it's cool to see people like what's his name, Killer Mike and Jesse. What's Jesse? The light skinned dude with the green eyes that was on.
Yeah, I know you're talking about. That was the medical show. Yeah.
The what? Oh yeah, the medical show. But they started their own Black-owned bank. I think it was called Green. I'll look it up in a second. I think it was like Green Hill. But and people just have this kind of stigma towards stuff like that. We're like, yeah, I want to support it, but I don't really know if it's legit, which is kind of fucked up.
Well, yeah, perfect point. You think about two people who I actually got a lot of respect for it, but still kind of scratch my head a little bit. One of them being Dr. Umar Johnson. He got a lot of flack because he was trying to raise the money for that school, and he raised over $7 million, but we people ain't still haven't seen the school. Right?
Really?
It's been 5 years. And it was like to the point I used to defend him to the T, like, man, that's what's wrong with black people. Always trying to shit on somebody. Like, what the fuck is y'all doing for black for the black progression movement? Y'all just want to judge and point fingers, and to a certain extent that's true. But after a while, I'm like, all right, come on, man, Dr. Umar, where this motherfucker school at? Cause like he would he would come out with a video, like a YouTube video, like, we are almost ready. We are almost done. And he'd just be walking around the yard. I'm like, all right, well, nigga, where the school at? Can we get the lockers? Can we see a gym? Can I see a classroom, a chalkboard or something? And and to this day, nobody's never seen it. And people actually donated money out their own pocket. The other person, Jay Morrison had the Tulsa Real Estate Fund. It's called a REIT, a real estate investment trust, where a lot of people was investing money, and basically, and what he was doing for the longest, I followed him on Instagram, and I loved it, man. He was going into inner cities and he was teaching people about real estate, on how to invest in real estate. And he was showing it on Instagram, and he was going to the hoods. I mean, this dude had been in prison, you know what I'm saying? His wife be next to him, his queen, Esther, forgot her last name. But she's also a poet. She's actually one of Sci-Hi's albums. The last album that Sci-Hi the Prince came out with. But basically he started a Tulsa real estate fund. They raised like I think $5 million, and nobody has seen any of it. And it's like, damn, man, every time you get a lot of people behind you, what happens? People stop trusting you. It's the trust. Like, where's the money at? What's going on with our investments? Where's our ROI? What the hell? You know what I'm saying? Like, and that's what makes it hard when somebody actually comes through with a genuine plan to really help people. Like, and it's fucked up when people do that. And I'm not saying, I don't know if they did something bogus.
Back in the day, we had to do it. Like, we had to be our own investors, because nobody else gonna give us a loan. Like, we had to do it ourselves. So therefore, we did it. But now it's a situation where you have options. You can either go to like a corporation, or you can go to a black-owned business. But you have that bad taste in your mouth about stuff that we just have to figure out.
But you can't just go to a corporation. Are you talking about for a loan? Because that's not something that we can always get.
Well, no.
When we think about redlining, what is it? Redlining? Yeah, it's redlining, where you can't live in certain neighborhoods, like build like a business in certain neighborhoods. It's all sectioned off. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of that happens, man. It's like damned if you do, damned if you don't. You got to play by their rules if you want it, but their rules is not really meant for you. It's a ceiling. You're not going to be able to actually progress to a certain level, man. And I think that's the frustrating part. You know what I'm saying? This is what I think. Just what needs to happen, man. Look, black people move out the cities. Let's go move to goddamn Utah. It's about like 150 acres of land and start a whole neighborhood.
That was somebody's proposal. That man, I'm gonna pull it up right now.
I grew up. Look, like real talk, like where I grew up.
That we moved back to the South.
I grew up in Southern Illinois. I grew up in a small town called Ullen, but I grew up on a place that was 200 acres called the farm. That's what we called it. But it was founded by a gentleman by the name of Prophet Casey, and a lot of people migrated from the city. My parents, one of them migrated from Chicago, and they moved down to this place. It was swampy land, but they ended up cultivating it, and it was over 200 homes, and that was like they had their own food, garden, Bible class. That's where I grew up at. I grew up in Ullen, Illinois, on the Israelite farm.
You grew up on a commune.
I did. You know what I'm saying? I grew up down there, and I saw it firsthand. I saw it work. It was beautiful. It was beautiful growing up. Beautiful. We had goats. We had chickens. All of that in our backyard, cuz. You know what I'm saying? We had a grapevine. We had a whole pear tree. All that. And when I go back today, it looked all desolate and broken down and whatnot. But it happened. And you know what? And you know why it fell apart? You know what I'm saying? Trust.
Well, a lot of times
disagreements. You know what I'm saying? And it's sad when you see that shit, and it's like, are we cursed? Maybe. Are we cursed?
Like even with the Nation of Islam, with like how everybody was like putting their faith in Elijah Muhammad until he broke their trust by doing like that like messed up stuff with like the younger women that he was.
Who don't trust him? People still follow him like to the T, bro.
I mean,
you can't even speak. You can't even speak negative against that man.
But a lot of folks didn't. That's why Malcolm left. You know what I'm saying? So like these things start off, and then these people have so much power, like these figures, and then sometimes they abuse it, and then shit goes to the wasteland.
It's not just that single person, man. A lot of the times it's just, I don't know. This could go into so many different ways. It's almost like whenever you see Black unity and it's getting too strong, and that divisiveness starts to become closer and becomes a fist with force, it's like it's always some outside entity. Like,
you feel like somebody came into Ellen and broke it up, like it was Wakanda, and like Thanos came in and like just broke that shit up.
It had something to do with greed. I was young when that happened, but it was definitely had something to do with greed. I mean, that's part of my book, Elijah Road. Check out the book. It's coming out in like 3 years.
Is the book written yet?
It's like I'm on chapter 5. Okay. Anyway, but that was something that I witnessed firsthand on. And it just seems like anytime you have like a Black powerful movement coming, it's always just something like a monkey wrench that gets thrown in the plans. And when we go back to the movie Judas the Messiah, it was like you seen something with the Black Panther, something positive. It wasn't even like a terrorist group. They was you see what they was doing. They was giving they was feeding the kids in the community. You know what I'm saying? They was giving people jobs. They was setting up schools, whatever. And then hey man, go see what they doing.
But that's as much as it is like the man and like the outside, like it's us too. Like we will tear down our own shit because when somebody is not getting what somebody else is getting, like think about how many conversations we've had in comedy, because we are comedians. I really like to break that back to comedy.
Okay.
Like what?
Yeah, we're gonna get away from the political side so much. Yeah,
But how many times have we had conversations about what we could do as Black comics in Chicago and the clubs and stuff that we could build, or the shows that we produce, when we don't even have the support of Black comics? You know what I'm saying? Like
it's that negative, and then it also goes back to it. That goes into a lot of shit though, man. It goes into a lot of people just talking, and then a lot of people just lazy. A lot of people are just lazy, and a lot of people don't really want to see you succeed, or like, man, we tried that.
They want you to succeed. If they succeed, if they don't succeed, you can't succeed. If they succeed, you can.
Even how the chat got started. The chat didn't get started because there was just a place for people to communicate. The chat was something that I initially started. I said, hey, to like a lot of the Southside comedians, let's start a writing where we start writing some material so we can help each other out, get booked on more shows. And so I tagged some people in a whole bunch of in a messenger. And anytime you tag a bunch of comedians, they're gonna come in like, what the fuck is this? What your dumb ass doing? You can't do shit. You ain't even funny. Blah blah blah. And then people start roasting, and 6 years later, it's still there. And it wasn't supposed to be like that.
I remember you started it at your house, and you would have comics come through, and we would tell each other jokes, and it would be like, how can you make this joke better? And you would punch up which is how these successful comedians do it. They have a team of people who make their shit funnier.
Yeah,
but
egos. I think a lot of egos.
Let me finish that thought real quick. I'm saying the same thing you're saying right now. Like it was just people who were not getting the limelight in that moment, and even in trying to punch your joke up, they would kind of try to bring it back to them. You know what I mean?
It's always like that. It's like you said, you asking somebody something, and then somehow the conversation gets like about them. Well, I got this, and what do I need to do? And and it's like, Yeah.
You know, we're a bunch of narcissists. Like as much as we try to build and grow, comics are we are out for solo dolo for the most part. Like I rock with you tough, you know, but I can probably count on two hands the people who I'm like, man, if I gotta go to bat, who's gonna ride with me? And it shouldn't be like that. It shouldn't be like that at all because, and I'm not a white person. I don't know, but when you look at like comedy from the other side of the city that was on the north side, you would see what it seemed to be like it was more unity going on in terms of certain things, but I don't know. I mean, I don't know if them same levels of jealousy
So
and
where
hate
did the love go
exist.
with that then, Dave?
You said what?
Where did the love go with that? Was it ever there?
In terms of what? I don't understand
In
what you're
terms of
asking.
unity, okay, if we talking about comedy, let's just be 100. Like there is two scenes. There's a black scene and a white scene. Let's just put it like that. In Chicago, at least, in a very segregated city, you want to call it mainstream, urban, however you want to call it, Chitlin circuit, mainstream circuit, whatever. But there is a difference. Where did the love go? Because it seems to me, you know, when I started doing stand up more so like in the mainstream circuit on the north side, that everybody, I mean, definitely y'all, you know, there was riffs in there, but it wasn't so much as shitting on each other like we do here. And I think it's more so egos and
We don't
Southside. I
know.
mean, it's the thing is like what scratches my head is like people are scared to support. They
No,
are
they're not scared. They
it's
just don't want to do it. Like
it's like, man, I'm not gonna show you too much love. I ain't gonna show your show, bro. I mean, let's keep it 100. Like, it's comedians who know about this show, and I can count on one hand how many of comedians that's actually been in my house, that's actually been a part of the chat, potlucks. You know what I'm saying? Whatever money that we didn't put in their pockets, booked. Who ain't never even looked at this podcast? Who know about it? Who ain't never shared it? Who ain't never liked it? Who ain't never talked about it? Who ain't never asked about it? And they know about it. It's like, whatever. You know what I'm saying? I got my own shit. And and that's just an observation. But what I'm saying is it happens. And it's not even just about comedy. It's just in a lot of different instances though. You know what I'm saying? People don't, let's the comments like Leah, which is my big sister. What's up, sis? She says people are scared someone will outgrow other people. And then Brandon
that's the
Hill says,
motherfucking truth right there.
yeah, they don't want you to outgrow them. And then Brandon Hill says, do y'all think Chicago
What up,
is
Brandon?
properly represented in comedy? Chicago is definitely known for comedy. That's one thing. There's great comics that come out of Chicago, but networks that come here, but they'll never stay here. They'll never set up here. They just come here, grab people, and whatever. But
I
you
don't
also
think
have to
Chicago's
leave. I think
very well
Dave
represented.
did. Dave left. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
because like Chicago's not very well represented, and like I feel like unless you like leave, I feel like there's a stigma of staying, and some comics might be offended by what I'm saying, but I'm not shitting on them. I'm just saying that I think Kevin Hart had this acronym in one of his specials. You know how he would have the movies before the actual comedy show, and the acronym was LAB, local ass bitch. And I don't know if you remember. I think it was in like What's Next or something like that, or the one where he had fire come out the ground. But Chicago's great, but Chicago could be greater if Chicago didn't have that mentality of like I call it like the
Crab in the
that
barrel.
yeah. I mean, it's just what Kanye say. Chicago, the city of hella
City of
haters.
hella haters, but we still rise to the top
The
like
top like
elevators. Yeah.
elevators. Like people don't want to see you because you don't get many opportunities here, bro.
Right.
So I got sick personally of doing shows on the South Side because that's where I was doing, putting my energy and trying to build that. And I was like, man, fuck it. Like I see these opportunities exist on the North Side, and I'm not selling out, but I'm like, I'm not just gonna spin my wheels on these South Side shows. Like I joined White Wu Tang at stand up where it was just like 9 white dudes and I was I was like the old I was like, why are there 9 white men
Hey man,
producing this show? But I'll
I did
join,
my
fuck it, let's
best.
go. You know what I'm saying? And I think when I saw people like Clark Jones and Will Miles, Brian Babylon in Chicago doing shows on the North Side, and I was like, I want to do both. I never want to be just a South Side comic. Never wanted to do that. You know, because
But
I
it's like
saw.
you can put on some great shows, and you can put people on and opportunities, but it's almost like people are still going to. I don't know, man. I mean, I think what Lil Rel was like, man, they love Lil Rel at Jokes and Notes.
Oh, he was like the guy. He was like the Patrice. Like Rail was everything for our generation, or right before our generation. Because Rail was a couple years before us, but
Yeah, they loved Rel. They fucked with Rel tough. But Rail had to climb to get to that certain point, man. Again, not trying to deviate too far away from what we talking about. You know what I'm
no,
saying?
it's
But like,
not. I don't think so at all. I think it's all
but
intertwined.
yeah. But it's like, where did the love go? Like, I don't even know, was it ever there?
No,
When it
but
comes to this aspect of what we
I think
talking
it was.
about
I
is
think with Rail, the difference was respect. People saw that Rail could rock. See, I'm gonna be 100. Rail saw that people saw that Rail made the black folks laugh, and they respected his abilities. So when you had people like, I even say it, like myself at times when they were like, man, Dave, he got some smart jokes, like, I'm saying, but he ain't gonna make him, he not gonna make him laugh like I'm gonna make him laugh. So it was like I remember Hannibal came to Jokes and Notes, and it was comics being like, he ain't funny. I'm like, you think Hannibal Buress give a damn about your critique of him in the back of a room because he is not up there telling jokes in a style that you think that is the normal black style of comedy? Like that's the mentality that's keeping people fucked up.
mm-hmm. Yeah,
You know?
man. I don't know, man. It's just, that's one thing that you never really gonna. I don't know if you're gonna, if that's something that's gonna ever change, but
We got a comment about that. He says, "I feel like support black is the new trend for certain people." Like I feel like right now we're kind of getting back into that level of love for like the culture. I think comedy is just this weird, cynical, dark space. And maybe James, you can speak to this as well as a
Sure.
person who is not black. So maybe you can see the hate that you saw on the north side with comedy and what that looked like.
Sure. I mean, it's that kind of shit, though, that, I got to say, a lot of that's changed for the better in recent times. Like, Chicago, at least in my experience over the past, 3 years, has kind of grown into something that I think it always should have been, which is, they can't hear you, Davey.
Yeah, what?
There you go. You're unmuted. It looked like you were talking, but no, Chicago's, at least up here. I mean, the industry has changed fundamentally in a way that I think is so much more for the better. The clubs were doing very well, which allowed comics to get paid out more. A lot of these shows were selling out, and the general energy that comics had towards each other, I think, has been much more positive as of late, and it's kind of become more of a place where you can stay and not feel like you're like a crab in a bucket. Like the opportunities here have swelled so much in the last 5 years. Just in terms of like, if you wanted to be, maybe not in terms of writing, maybe not in terms of like directing, or other avenues in the industry, but if you want to be a stand-up comedian in Chicago, it has never been, up until Corona, obviously, but it was never easier to be able to leave your day job and get paid out if you were great at comedy to do shows every weekend, 5-6 times at 4 clubs all weekend long, hopping around the city making money. And, that trickled out into, happier comics, which makes for a better community, a more inclusive community, a stronger community. And that's, and I think, without the virus, God knows where we'd be right now in terms of such a big, vibrant, beautiful, and frankly, top of the line stand-up comedy industry in Chicago.
Yeah, Chicago's great. Chicago comedy is
it's become something so much more than it was, and it's still that. I think it's still there. You know, you're seeing a lot of the Chicago spirit, that Midwestern, you know, we can do anything, fight kind of spirit during lockdown, and it's going to keep going in a positive direction when the world opens back up.
Yeah, man, it's gonna be a lot of people to come back with some interesting takes, man. And I don't know if this was something that is gonna help people come back together, because sometimes it's like what they say, absence make the heart grow fonder. Sometimes you take something away, and when you bring it back, it's like the love is there. You know, it's been sometimes where we had glimpses of like, oh, we might open back up, and you see people, you're like, oh shit, I haven't seen in a long time. You know, it's people who don't even know I got locks now. You know what I'm saying? Oh, when the fuck did you get locks? It's been that long. Oh my gosh. You know, but yeah, to your point, man, that is something. I mean, and you know, with comedy, man, comedy. The reason we talking about comedy right now, because it's so instrumental, especially here in Chicago. It's a staple. It's an art. It's a craft that really brought a lot of people together. Hell, this is what brought me and James together. This is what brought me and Dave together. You know what I'm saying? You know, we all met each other through comedy, you know, 10 years ago, and here we are doing a podcast right now. We older now. We've experienced life in our own ways or whatnot. You know, Dave's went out to do great things. You know what I'm saying? I went out to do great things. You know what I'm saying? And it's just James as well. James has started his own production company. It's just, you know, and here we are. We still come back together. You know,
I think that, you know, as a person who does not live in Chicago no more, it's a weird type of regret where I kind of wish that I could have done more in terms of the comics who I came up with, in terms of like creating more opportunities for folks who I know are funny as hell, and I try to give them opportunities. And you know, because in Chicago, it's like you get crumbs in terms of these opportunities. Like you might get a spot on a showcase. Like if you're lucky, you might get Just for Laughs. If you're lucky. But it's been comics from Chicago who have been going. I think they did like the Kevin Hart JFL thing like 3 years ago, like 4 or 5 Chicago comics. But ultimately, I feel like there is a struggle of a regret, because I feel like if we would have just could have come together with that theme of love from this episode, like where's the love, and was like, all right, we're gonna put our energy behind one person, whether it's Niche, whether it's you, whether it's Mary Lee, me, Calvin, and we are going to be like the Plastic Cup Boys for this one person and rally around them and make them the great next thing, as opposed to getting upset that they're not the next great thing when they're not going to be the next great thing, you know?
Like it's just, man, you know, I think that, you know, it's kind of like that saying, you can't save the world, you can't change the world. You just kind of focus on the people that's around you. I've been so happy for like all my friends who's gotten opportunities, man. Dave, I can't tell you, like, you know, man, seeing your post yesterday with, you know, with you at the Rose Bowl. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, damn, man, I'm so proud of that dude, man. That's dope as hell. You know, and the thing is, it's not, you got fake love and you got genuine love. Like, I genuinely am proud. You know what I'm saying? Like, we done been through a lot together. You know what I'm saying? To see you where you at now, because I saw you at your lowest, and now to see you like winning, man, I'm like, man, that's what's up. Man, I love to see that shit.
It's,
you know what I'm
it's crazy because like you want the level of adoration, like, and respect from like your peers, and they're not gonna give it to you. A lot of people, and like you want the actually, the word is validation. Fuck that. That's what you want. Like you want people to be like, man, you know what? I didn't really care for you at first, but I see your grind, and I like what you're doing, man. Love to you. But guess what? You're not gonna get that shit 90% of the time, and you just got to keep going and going and going. But I kind of feel like I'm in a position now where I know people at Comedy Central, and you know, Southside is coming back for season 2. So cats will hit me up like, how can I get down with season 2? Like, I'll hit up the executive producer, be like, man, you need to check out this person. And whether or not they fuck with that person is not on me. I every single time I try to put somebody else on, because if I like, you see what's behind me right now. Like, this is
that's one of the photos that's in, you know, and what we promoted for the show. That's the Regal Theater on 79th in South Chicago.
This is a Chicago
No,
brand.
that's not the Regal Theater. I'm sorry, that's Chicago Theater. Whoops, my bad. Whoops.
Oh my God! But I'm saying like this is a Chicago brand. This is a Chicago brand. Like
yeah, I mean
I
this
live
right
in
here, this shirt right here, this our homeboy Rob. That's down in Nashville, Hood Geek. You know what I'm saying? That's his line. They clothes
It means
line.
nothing to me to pursue my career if I cannot help the scene that made me. And I don't know what that's going to look like in terms of like Chicago comedy, but I know that is my home, and that's where like my love is. So like I will never leave Chicago and be like, man, I ain't got time for that. Like, and that might be to my detriment that I want to make Chicago pop too much at some point, but it's a part of my nature to still do shows out there. Before Corona, I was still coming back to do my monthly in Chicago, you know, but I still want that connection.
And tell them about what's coming up, Dave. March what is it?
March 23rd. Oh, my hour special that I filmed at the Rose Bowl. Like that's gonna be great. And it's called DJ the Chicago Kid. And it's very much, even though it was filmed in Pasadena in California, like Chicago made that. Chicago got me ready for that special. And it's gonna be great.
Even with the live podcast though that we got coming up, followed by a dope ass comedy show that's gonna be at the end of March, I believe.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, we looking forward to that. So if y'all like the show, you have a chance to really come check us out live, and then followed by a dope ass comedy show.
We're doing that live on March 26th. James, I gotta holler at you about that.
Hell yeah, I'm down.
I'm gonna do a Chicago comedy live podcast episode before the show. Your boy, your favorite person in the world, Wit made a comment.
Yeah.
He says, as a non-comic who has worked with a lot of comedians from Chicago, it's ego. Everybody wants to be the big fish in the small pond, but more like a crab. And he put a whole bunch of.
And you know what? Like I definitely take observations from people who's worked with comedians that's not necessarily stand-up comedians, like Wit, for example. Wit has been a videographer for a lot of comedians. Website designer, editing. You know, when the sketches was really hot, you know, so he's seen it firsthand. Same thing with like James. Certain people was like instrumental on the comedy scene that's not necessarily like comics who can look from a non-biased perspective,
right,
and kind of say, hey, this is what I observed, because I'm cool with everybody. Like I have no dog in this fight. I'm not trying to like be the next whatever. I'm not trying to get stage time over you, but I see it from my point of view, and you really got to look at that. Again, it's not about. It definitely has a lot to do with ego. And I think in general in terms of like, you know, love. And we just talking about comedy right now, but it's just an entertainment.
It's still underneath the same umbrella, man. You know,
yeah.
Like, and there's probably some level within the Black community at some point when things were like probably flourishing, Black-owned businesses, and for some reason, somebody probably felt like they were slighted, and they was like, you know what? Either I'm a sabotage this shit, or they just felt like the need to not support whatever was going on.
You know what? One thing that pisses me off, man.
Tell them, Eli.
I can have a bad experience in this Black-owned business, but one thing I would never, ever, ever do is never go on social media and talk bad about it. I hate to see when people do that shit. I hate it. I hate it to my core, because it's like, okay, damn, they're not. You know, they had one bad whatever. You had one bad experience, so now you go give them a negative review. Oh, don't eat at such and such at this place. Well, what about when the shit is fire? Do you go and give it a positive review? I hate that shit, man. I wish people would stop doing that.
Yeah, you can't do that. I remember I apply the effort of Black businesses a lot of times to do stuff. Sometimes they don't have the infrastructure.
Wait, what's that? Whit said it's definitely one comedian y'all brought up who's definitely going to catch this fade, though. Please do tell, sir. We need some. Who gonna catch these hands with? And I say that Whit probably could, you know, we had a little wrestling match, and Whit put me on my back pretty quick. But it turns out that he was a former wrestling champion in high school, and he hurt my shoulder for like 2 days. Still, fuck you, Whit. But yeah, so if he said somebody gonna catch a fade, he might well give him a fade though. That's my guy. We work out together though too. You know what I'm saying? Health as well.
Yeah, let us know who you're talking about with. But I was talking about the that time we tried to support some black business, and we went to the Black Taste of Chicago.
Oh, Stony. We was at the mosque. Yeah.
And mosque number 2. Ooh, I was like, help us, God.
Oh my goodness. It was like 4 booths. No, it was a lot more booths.
No, but it was fucked up. It was
they was
like
running out of food and shit.
1,000 people were hungry, and they did not have the resources to feed these people.
Yeah.
People want to give black folks their money who are black, but a lot of times we don't have the infrastructures to do this shit, man.
That's true. That's true, man. We it's like, man, I'm rooting for y'all so much, but come on, man. Come on.
And white folks, if y'all watching out here, support black businesses too.
No.
Be an ally for the day.
How's this ice cream stand? And y'all had ice cream.
It do be shit like that. You be like, how?
It be shit like that, man.
Or you ask a question about the menu, and they're like, damn, can't you read? I'm like, don't you work?
Oh my gosh. Like
you not
customer
like
engagements. We got I wanted to bring up an article. We saw this article. Because the article was about, and this is related to Where Did the Love Go? I sent it to Dave. Man, it was like 2 a.m. I sent you this article about this guy who fell in love with a hologram chick. And they was jealous over it. Dave, did you?
I read it. I was confused about how it was related to Where Did the Love Go, but you know.
Where did the love go? You got that hurt where you don't want to fuck with the real flesh no more. The idea of a digital,
I mean, once you had that robot,
digital relationship,
it's probably easier though to have like a digipet, but it's like a woman when you ain't got to talk to her for real. Like, I mean, it's not right, you know what I'm saying? But I can.
You bring up real feelings about this digital girlfriend that you got. How do you introduce, how do you confidently brag? Yeah, man. Got this chick, man. She's so fine. Where's she at? When gonna meet her? Hold on real quick. And then she just pop up out your phone. Guys, meet Jamie. She's the love of my life. Hi, friends. Jamie, I love this man. Da, 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 da. Like, what the hell?
Well, you know that's coming at some point, so you better just accept.
No, that's some Black Mirror shit. That shit weird as fuck.
Shout out to Black Mirror. That's like when old girl's boyfriend died, and they had the app would talk to her in the way that he would text her. So the same algorithm. I'm sorry, the same way that he talked to her. They figured out an algorithm to make that app text and talk to her like he used to. That was a real scary episode. I don't like that show.
Black Mirror? Yeah, I don't know. This ain't about Black Mirror though. This is about black love today though.
But yeah,
why is the name of the show Black Mirror?
Because it's a phone. A phone is a mirror into the world, into yourself. It's a black.
We didn't ask you.
Well, you asked somebody.
I'm talking shit.
I want to talk about this next though. I want to like we're both big music fans.
Sure. You. Oh yeah.
And one thing that I really like to do, I have a lot of playlists on my phone that are just like 70s music, you know, like R&B stuff. One, my dad was really into like R&B ballads and just like cool, soulful shit. And, you know, two, secondly, a lot of that music was sampled by the hip hop that we grew up on in the 90s, right? Them 70s samples. But three, it was so much love and positivity Like a dude can be like, "Hey, lady, can I take you out? I just want to get to know you. I just want to know your name." Like this about this dude kind of just like pursuing this woman and these positive levels of just like, I respect you and I think you're cool. And or even if I do love you, I'm gonna make a song about like Lenny Williams, "Cause I love you," right? I need you. I can't sing, but you know what I'm saying? Like it's these
That's my
levels
shit.
of
Yeah.
adoration about somebody that you just don't hear no more. Like, and I'm just where did that love
go? Lust. They went from love to lust. You know what I'm saying? They talk about all the different styles they could smash, and just went to more promiscuity in music. It kind of just that's sex sales, man.
Wait,
You know what I'm
you
saying?
said that answer. I don't think I understood what you just said. Just
It went from more love songs to more lust
but
songs.
why?
Because
Why? I
that's
mean,
what sells. Sex sells.
yeah, but
Sex
sex is
sells.
oh, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's something more than that, man.
I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna tell you. I'm going to tell you what changed the whole
and
dynamic
when
of
did it
music.
happen?
One song, one simping ass song. I don't wanna know if you cheat. Keep it on the low. No, bro, that shit like no. You simp ass bitch.
What?
And after that,
like
they start saying, "Hey, shit, yeah." If they don't want to know, and everybody just started fucking everybody. And then it went from holding hands, walking down on the beach, so I could hit it from
so
the
you
back,
think of Mario
helicopter
Winans
style.
song from like, and this is Mario Winans, like a C-level artist at best.
Yeah,
Changed the whole.
that song was a hit. How long ago that song came out? I still remember it. So it wasn't too much C-level, nothing. Mario whinings, get it? Whining and crying, but he don't want to know if you cheat and keep it on the low. I'll slap the shit
Leah
out
said
you.
it was a thong song.
Maybe that too. That shit was
Something.
cracking back there. That was like when I was in college. Boy, that shit was.
But I think it's to your point earlier about what you were saying about how just like it was just like a level of pain that people were kind of going through from their household life. So they didn't see a lot. You can't sing about love if you ain't got no love at home. You know what I'm saying? Like
They don't know what love is. Like I said, it's more lustful now. Now it's just now you got rappers who singing an auto tune, and these little young gang don't know about no real love. Girl, let me smoke a blunt with you, take a shot with you, rub your hand, meet you with the guys. Girl, I lick between your thighs. Girl, let me look you in your eyes, and you better not be lying. Yeah, I don't give a fuck. We can go to get some fries, mouth sauce, take it off, hit it from the back.
I like that song. That song is juking, as they say.
And that song will be a hit. Girl, you ain't hear the song by Lil Tay Tay?
Little tank. Tanked.
Take it off, get some mouth sauce. Yeah, girl. Yeah, I'm a boss. I shoot a nigga in the head. If he talk about you, girl, yeah, that's what I said. Let me take you to my bed.
That little
Ooh, girl, give me head. First day.
That's like that little Uzi Vert song. All my friends are dead. All my
I
friends.
don't know. I still don't know what that means, but I used to like the song. Like I didn't know. I like all my friends is dead. Like what does that mean? Like I don't know. It's kind of like, all my friends is dead.
Why are we singing about it?
I'm grown as hell. Why am I bopping to that shit? Why?
It's crazy though, man. Like when I used to be a teacher in Chicago, I would try to like talk to my kids about feelings and stuff that was inside them.
Feelings, yeah.
And like just like stuff that was going through at home, and they'd be like, nope, I ain't going. I don't want to feel, Mr. Hellum. So let me not talk about nothing that's gonna generate any emotion out of me. So I'm gonna stay smoking. I'm gonna stay doing what I'm doing. I'm gonna stay drinking. Because I don't want to think about the pain that is my home. I had I don't even go into that story, but I had a situation with a student whose parents motivated them to get them a felony because they parents pushed them. Like these people's parents are like not right.
And why would they push them to get a felony?
Okay, let me tell you why. Because the parent does not have everything together. Like they came from a broken home. This is not just like one generation away. I feel like this one parent household thing has been going on probably like you said since the 80s, which is like what how many generations of parents? 2, 3? You know what I'm saying? So like the kids that we teaching now are like two generations of like of hurt. And I'm not even saying people were not hurt in the 60s or 40s because they had different levels of it, but it was just different.
But why would they push him to get a felony?
Because okay, the situation was like somebody did something to your son, like a girl that he was dating, and as opposed to being like, yo, don't pursue that, don't go to jail, she was like, go beat his ass. Like, and then she like handed him a baseball bat, and then like they went out and did it together.
The parents and the child.
Yes, man. Like, and this is like something I found out years later after I left that school, but it was like it's just crazy stuff that you see.
Well, I mean, obviously, we're not going to get to the root problem tonight, but we just want to.
Yes, we are.
Okay, what's the root? What's the solution?
No, I mean, we not honestly. I'm just saying. But I do think
it's rooted in a lot of different facets. Again, it's rooted in our music, it's rooted in relationships, it's rooted in our culture.
The music is a reflection of the culture. I used to think that, but
you know what, Dave? It's rooted in all three, and it's televised on social media.
What does that mean?
It's spread on social media. From the messages, from the comments. You want to see some broken people? Go to the comment section of a viral post. That's where you're gonna see the most fucked up. You can see some. Oh, look at that! The first black 10th grader to graduate high school early and become a medical doctor. Hell no! Look at this headline. Oh, goof ass. He ain't shit. He probably gonna marry a white woman. Just like black men marry a white woman. Oh shit, he think he the shit now because he da. Oh, punk ass, he probably gay. Blah, yeah. If you see 10,000 comments,
yeah, this is
2,000 of them is gonna be hate.
This is why I don't really engage with people on a mass level like that. Like for me, honestly, the joy that I have about making most of my money now as a writer, other than comedy, is like I love getting on stage and telling jokes. I do, but the PC-ness of it when you on stage is just a bit like, and then like you have to watch what you say on stage, but then also when you post a clip on stage, people don't know who I am. So as opposed to just finding the joke funny, they'd be like, oh, I don't like this dude. He corny. You know what I'm saying? Like they're not even listening to like the content. It's just more a level of, well, you not followed, like you're not verified. You're not this, you're not that. I'm just like, this is all. And then once you like blow up and get to a certain level of fame, I feel like you got to go back and try to appease these people at a certain point. And I don't want to be a slave to like the gram like that.
I know we said that we wasn't going to find a solution, but I got a solution. Here's a solution on where did the love go. The solution is love yourself. That's it. Love yourself. Pour into yourself. Whoever don't rock with you, fuck them, because others will. And there you go. You're not going to get the validation from people that you expect. You're always going to get the validation and admiration from someone that you might not even know who's been looking at you for a long time. I got a message the other night from a guy I didn't know. He said, man, love what y'all doing with the podcast, man. Hope to be working with you on stage one day. You guys are funny. You're great. Thank you. And I was like, man, that's what's up. Appreciate it, man. Thank you. I look forward to working with you as well. And sometimes that's all you need, man. You know what I'm saying? That's all you need.
I was about to take a turn for the worse.
Nah. You know what I'm saying? Like, we always gonna end up on a high note. But again, there's always people who rock with you. It's people like, man, I like y'all show. Man, it's cool. You know, we might thinking like, man, because the people who we want to like it, who we want to validate it, again, it's not necessarily fuck y'all. It's more so like, all right, cool. You know what I'm saying? As long as you got other people who rock with you, they'll spread the word. I guarantee you that a lot of people who are on top right now, just in whatever profession, whatever industry they in, a lot of their supporters came from people who they don't even know. You know what I'm saying? A lot of times it's not going to come from the people that you think it's
right
going to
there
come
to
from.
get people who don't know you, to get new followers who just appreciate you for what you do, not who you were, not for being Butter Beasy, not for being E. Dot Hamilton, right? Like from people who just they see what you're doing now and they rock with it.
Yeah,
that's the most important thing, bro.
So there's a solution. Love yourself. Tonight we was a little bit more sentimental. You know what I'm saying?
What does that mean, Eli?
Because last week we was going at it. We was at each other's head. I think that's a lot of people wanted to see.
No, this is a fine conversation.
Fight. But you know what I'm saying? We actually just we smoothing it out. We gotta have that balance, but it's still something that's imperative to talk about.
I prefer these type of episodes where I can just sit back and talk. It's like therapy to me. And I don't gotta be like, I don't gotta roast you.
Yeah. But I mean, it's true though, man. We want to support. I know I support. I can't support everybody who sends me a like their business page. What the fuck is this? I've never met you or heard of you in my life. Because if I like everybody's page, man, I'm gonna have a whole damn spam on my wall of shit that I don't even know what's what. So I gotta look into it, and I can't get to them all. I mean, we all get them, but at the end of the day, man, I would just tell you this: support your people. You know what I'm saying? I'm proud of all my people, whether you're doing stand up, whatever profession you in. Man, I'm rooting for you. We getting older now. It's all about generational wealth. Yeah, and man. It's all about just following your passion, man. Hey, I'm doing a lot. I would love the support. Dave's doing a lot. James is doing a lot. Man, let's just all rock with each other, man. We all got talent out here, and we need each other.
Maybe it's a separate episode about social media stuff like that, but I kind of feel like the more that you kind of tell people about what you're doing, the less they give a fuck about it. And I think that's the hard part about all this.
No, seriously. In all seriously, we are going to take this off of Facebook. We are in the transition. We're going to take this off of Facebook, and it's normal to kind of start with something that you're comfortable with, because it's I see y'all and y'all dumbass fucking opinions every damn day talking stupid shit. I know these guys, but no, we got to take it off of it and put on a different platform. You know what I mean? Like a YouTube or something. And we got to start organic from there. Whoever follows us. I'm sorry, go ahead.
5,000 friends. And them same people be like, God damn, Jays and Grays every motherfucking day. God damn. God damn, David Eli. But guess what? We ain't going nowhere. We like Bad Boy.
We ain't going nowhere. When you got them gummies again. Boy, if you don't hold up a Chummies bag of gummies and start promoting that shit.
If you don't send me some Chummies.
I'm going to send you a bag of Chummies, fucker. We promoting this. James, you two Connor. Who is that? Connor.
Eating Asian edibles on our podcast.
Connor rhymes with Ghana, but it starts with a K. So it's the KKK. I just made that up. That was a reach.
You know what, James? Whoever is editing these clips,
leave that one in there, baby. Okay. Leave it in.
No. I'm not saying delete it. I'm just saying make a mixtape of all Eli's musical moments throughout.
I'm sure Manny would love to do that.
And just you got so many musical parts.
Speaking from the heart, baby. That's all. I'm just speaking from the heart. You know what I'm saying? Man, what? So next week I won't be here. Are we gonna do a show next week?
No, I'm not doing a show by myself. I'm not.
Okay. So what's today's date? Today is the 16th.
Oh, but guess what though? You're not gonna be here next week, and then next Thursday I'm gonna be here because I'm gonna be in Texas.
Texas! Be careful. Shout out to Texas. Hey, I want to say one thing about Texas.
I'm still talking.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Relax. I turned 40 on.
Mazel tov.
I won't say nothing.
That part. Hey, so I think we're gonna be on a little bit of a hiatus for the next 2 weeks.
No, so yeah, the 26th I won't be here. March 5th, Dave won't be here, so we won't be back until March 12th.
I won't be here.
Yeah, March 4th. I'm sorry. Yeah, so we won't be back until March 11th. But when we come back, boy, oh boy, we got some heat for y'all people, because Dave gonna come back with his announcement. You know what I'm saying?
Shut your ass up.
Because he's turning 40, old bastard, but he got some shit going on, and I'm proud of him.
Please stop drinking Tito's.
I'm not drunk. This is my second glass, I think. Anyway, but yes, and we got the topics that we got coming on for y'all. And the thing, here's one thing I was gonna say about Texas.
You on speed right now. Like the episode where Jesse was like, "I'm so excited."
You talking about crossing on Fresh Prince when he was when he did that speed.
That was the black version, and Jesse was the white version.
He did the backflip off stage, and I'm like, this motherfucker cold right here. But I want to say it's one thing. All y'all people, and you know, I got friends out in Texas. We even said a prayer for y'all last week. But y'all are having a rough time down there with the weather.
Shout out to Texas.
The governor is pretty much playing y'all to the left. You know, he's sitting in front of his fireplace with his elk that he killed back in 1989, the stuffed, talking about stories and smoking his pipe, listening to the horror stories on live of people complaining, not giving a fuck. But I will say this, for those of you who always leave Chicago or go on vacation and take a picture of your crusty ass feet kicked up on your lawn chair in the sunlight and sunset and saying, "Hey Chicago, how's the weather? It's great where I'm at." Guess what, Texas? It's not so great right now. And I know y'all expecting it to be because y'all don't get that type of weather.
Who is going to Texas and posting that?
A lot of people. Maybe it's Florida. Maybe it's Texas. Maybe it's the Bahamas. But you never know.
Sexier than Texas.
Well, not in this time of year because Chicago ain't too sexy. I got stuck in the alley today. This is the 5th time I done got stuck. Look, if a motherfucker carjack, I don't want to speak that negative.
What? All right, it's time for us.
If something was to happen to my truck, I'm just telling you, I wouldn't be mad. If Geico is listening, I'm just joking.
Is my mic on? Okay. I couldn't hear myself.
We can cut that part out, James. We can cut that part out.
Yeah.
Right. I'm just saying I'm frustrated with this truck. I got stuck in the alley today. I got stuck in my driveway Monday night. And I got stuck in my parking lot Monday night too. The Sunday before that, I got stuck in the big part of my alley.
Stop leaving your house.
I got shit to do, man.
No, you don't. Like you just don't want to be home. You can do all that shit from the crib. I promise you. You can do push-ups on the floor. I saw you at the gym the other day.
But I can't.
I saw you at the gym on Instagram on T Murr's page.
Oh yeah, okay. Clark came today for the first time.
I saw.
Shit was so fucking funny.
Y'all some open air hoes because in LA we can't do shit right now.
Hey, that shit was so funny. But health is wealth. That's something we got to talk about too. Oh, we already did that.
We already did. I mean, you can have part 2 always, you know.
Yeah, we got to bring Ed back. Like Ed.
No, Ed was on the COVID episode.
Yeah, we did. We got to see how you feeling since he got that COVID.
Oh, I got you. But we have not had a Black Man's Health episode, though, have we? I don't know.
I think that was Black Man's Health. Take your ass to the doctor.
Okay, yeah, you're right. James, edit that out too. Thank you.
Okay. Yep.
We just gonna edit this last 10 minutes out. This is the shit we should have talked about prior to this. Is the bloopers part of like the sitcom or just the behind the scenes cuts. If y'all still here, y'all are witnessing something very special because we usually would cut this part out.
But check out my first comedy special, DJ the Chicago Kid, dropping on all streaming. And let me be honest with you, when I say streaming, you can't just play it. At first, you have to either buy it or rent it. So it's $5 for you to rent it. It's $10 for you to buy it. Support. It's fire. is great. I think after
Dave,
90 days,
where's the NPC with the horns? You should have gave yourself the horns right there.
oh, the horns is not plugged up right now.
Yeah, you ain't about that life. You know
Nah.
what? Yeah, you ain't about that life, cuz.
But support the album. It's like it's like an hour of like so much stuff that I've built up over time that's just been burnt, and it's phenomenal. And it's outside at a drive-through, man. Like it's something you've never seen before. And
The first of its kind.
yeah, man. And that's why I get so mad at times. I'm like, people are not supporting it, or like, please just share the trailer. Go to my page, share it. I would appreciate that. Like, let people know what it is. Like, don't you get mad when you see a video you post and you see like the views? You have like 200 views for like 5 likes. You be like, bitch.
That's why I said love yourself, man. Love yourself. But you just gotta put it on different platforms, man. When people start to see you, that shit gonna shoot up.
All right, man.
I'm saying I want to shout out to my big sister on here, man, Leah Hamilton. I love her to death, man. She's always supported me since day one. I love her to death, man. And everyone else, Tambria, thanks for tuning in. Whit, Brandon Hill, thanks for tuning in. Jason, that's your brother, Dave. Thanks, Jason, for tuning in. And everybody else, Zion, Terrence, all out. Thank you. Keep supporting us.
Join us on Instagram for the wrap up. If you are available. Are you down to do that tonight?
Fuck it. Yeah, I gotta keep me up some food, some leftovers. I'm hungry.
All right,
as shit.
so maybe like half hour or something like that.
And follow me on Instagram. Yeah, I'm trying to build my page up. I got put in Instagram jail. I called prepaid legal. They sent the letter. I approved it. It sounds pretty threatening. We're gonna talk about that on Instagram. Instagram your days is number, bitch. I want my page back, ho. All 4,000 of my followers are prepaid legal on your fucking ass. I mean it. Look at my face. See the realness in my eyes. Coming for you, IG. I really did call prepaid legal on them.
Delete the last 8 minutes from this podcast on the iTunes.
Yeah.
No.
All right.
We need food, clearly.
All right. Good night, everybody.
We see y'all. See you guys on Instagram, and see y'all again March 11th. Jason Graves. Check us out. Eli Hamilton, Dave Hellam, James Webb. Follow him on ACYS. What the fuck that shit is?
I already